everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. 2 running backs will take the field today.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Rams. Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And we are underway here in Los Angeles. Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And his first look is incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And now it's 2nd down. Here's Tannehill. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Tannehill. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. That one good for 14 yards. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They run again with Ajayi. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
For someone who piled up the yardage that Jay Ajayi did in 2016, I think it was a strange type of a year. How many runners do you know that will end the season with more 200-yard games on the ground than 100-yard games and end up over 1,000?
Very, very strange. 3 200-yard games, just 1 100-yard game. All in all, though, how do you see his season? A rough start, but looked pretty good in the end.
Rough start, but a really good offensive line that continues to grow. I think the future's really bright for Jay Ajayi and the Dolphins next season.
Tannehill now, they give to Ajayi. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run. 2nd down and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. A beautiful fake. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Tannehill looking for his running back, and he's got him. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make this a second down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved.
Now Tannehill. And a big loss here as he's taken down. William Hayes. He's the one who finally gets him down for what will wind up being a loss of 16 yards.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a little jumpy there defensively. Ref caught him in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. So here's 3rd and 20, and with a long yardage, defense going with a nickel look. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Looking deep downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all.
At the 44. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
Goff on 1st down. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, Lance Kendricks, there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. Looking for Brett, intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on 3rd down. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And it's caught by Parker. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jay Ajayi, 54 yards. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now Andrew Frank's on for the point after. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Frank's now on to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
I'm still struggling to wrap my mind around the year Todd Gurley had with the Los Angeles Rams. I thought he was a lock for 1,000 yards. Didn't approach it, and never got over 100 yards in a single game all season.
Yeah, and his rookie year, we know what he did. He was averaging 4.8 yards a carry as a rookie, 3.2 this year. How much of it was up front on the O-line?
There was plenty of that, but he also has to increase his vision, and I think he may add a little bit more weight back on in order to break a few more tackles.
Rolling to his right. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. So we've got a 2nd and 5. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Now Goff. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They are going for it. Goff. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It's a gain of 7, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
And the catch made by Kenny Britt. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now Goff on 1st down. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
18 yards the gain for number 18. Speaking of Britt, Charles, he just completed his 8th NFL season. Kind of interesting because the Rams struggled. Offensively, we know what happened there, but Britt turned in his best year, over 1,000 yards.
Adjusted to the fact that he had to go and work with a couple of different quarterbacks during the year. He had Case Keenum for a long time, and then at the end of the year, they had the rookie Jared Goff. But what I liked about Kenny Britt was watching him develop, even in his 8th season, as a route runner. For a while, he'd become a guy, hey, Britt's going to go deep. Cover him there. He started coming back inside, working the sidelines. He had a really nice year, became their most dependable target.
And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Special teams coaches spend a lot of time scheming things up, but this was just a bad return. Now the offense has a long way to go to try to put points on the board.
Out comes the Rams defense now as they get ready for the next possession. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Now the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky. Preach.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Extending the arm.
Oh, yes.
Jay Ajayi's going to go. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jay Ajayi, 77 yards. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Franks now on to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Partner, these L.A. Rams, as they come back out here for the next offensive series, they've now missed the playoffs 12 straight seasons. Of course, this last one, their first back in L.A. They were 3-1, so much hope, but then they lost all but one down the stretch.
Hard to believe with a defense that good, but just tells you about the premium that's placed on the offensive side of the ball, especially at the quarterback position. They just didn't have the stability. Even though they drafted Jared Goff, #1 in 2016, he'll have to ascend to that number. Be that guy for them in the next season in order for the Rams to finally break that playoff drought.
And now they've got some city neighbors in the Chargers of L.A.
There's no shyness there pushing the ball downfield, but I like the coverage on the play. In good position. And when you have a 50-50 ball, who's going to come down with it? I like the way they made the play. Came across and knocked it away.
Goff now to throw. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Hey. 4 down.
They're going to go for it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And back onto the field, here comes the Dolphins defense. Now a first down throw, gone. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Jordan Phillips breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Detroit! Let's go!
Third and long. It's gone. And that's complete to Brian Quick. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker.
4 down, check.
They're going to try and throw. Got a man open. It's Brian Quick. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to.
Green 39! Green 39!
On first down, gone. That's complete. It's Brian Quick. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
All right, here we go. Blue 90!
To the air again. Goff. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
2nd and 10. Goff again. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Goff on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Four yards remaining now on second down. Throwing again is Goff. Dancing to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now a first down throw. Goff. That's complete right around the 8. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Let's go. Blue 90.
Here's Goff now on second down. And he rifles one incomplete. The one running back is Gurley.
Let's go. Blue 90.
Throwing on third. Goff. That is caught at the 7-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. And they just did not get the snap away in time.
Delay of game, offense. Still 4th down.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
All right, here we go.
They go ahead and snap it. Goff. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Brian Quick from 10 yards out. And the Rams have got this back to a 1-score game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. but they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told, and it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in the end, the decision to bring it out costs him a few yards as he's out of bounds just past the 20. Here's Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphin offense back out onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. 10 yards on the pickup there, and that's good for a Miami first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
They'll run the option left. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage.
Offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
And he is going to loop. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now it's Tannehill off the bootleg. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right. So that would have been something from that distance. So this guy's just sitting there, right? He's got like 30 hot dogs in front of him. And what's that? Apparently we're back. Okay, so Larry's halftime show got cut off. Sorry, we were doing story time here in the booth. We are ready, though, for the third quarter. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Cameron Wake in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And quickly, they get to the line.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go.
To throw on second down is gone. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And now they're in the hurry-up. Here's Tannehill now on second down. Drops it off to Ajayi. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. On second down, here's Tannehill. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Damian Williams, 43 yards. And thanks to the interception, the Dolphins offense cashes in with 6. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Dolphins defense as they head out to set up shop. And the interception the last time, their third takeaway of the game, Charles.
They're just flocking to the football so well. And not only are they doing that, they're making big-time plays and taking it away from them. Big hits, big plays. They're looking very good in this ball game.
You said flocking, flying to the football. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's the former Seahawk, Byron Maxwell. And he'll actually wind up losing about 10 yards here, but no matter, they've got the football back.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackle.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Tannehill. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Jordan Cameron is tied in, the intended receiver, and that brings up fourth down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
They're going to go. It's Tannehill. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. And they're going to come up empty here on fourth down. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game. That punter, he must be pretty lonely over there on the sideline thinking, why in the world was my number not called there?
As far as he's concerned, the check will still cash, right? It is your choice not to use me in this situation. But I also look at it this way. You know, some coaches are more aggressive than others. They just want to take care of the football, have the ball on offense, and go at it that way. So a very interesting call, but he wants to take care of the ball himself.
They go back to the air here after the INT. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Brian Quick, the intended target, and it's second down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone, and they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to the air. Goff on second down. He has Britt over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On first down, it's Gurley. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 3rd and 4.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. On second down, here's Goff. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And Ndamukong Suh in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And on 2nd and goal, they decide to throw it again, and this result is even worse. They take a sack. On 1st down, it was simply an incomplete pass. Not a good first 2 plays, beginning with 1st and goal.
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. And it is incomplete. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And the Dolphins celebrate their goal line stand. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
It's caught. Stills, right side. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And they're going to speed things up here. Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. 12 yards on the pickup, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Tannehill. They set up the screen to Ajayi. Ajayi hit. He lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Again, they run with Gurley. And some space here. The 20. Todd Gurley. Wave goodbye. Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley, 49 yards. And the Rams have tied the game with the extra point to come. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result? 6 points.
Touchdown. Play clock winding down. Zerline now for the PAT.
Delay of game, offense.
Another attempt now from 5 yards further back. And that one puts them on top here in the third.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Here's the defense for Los Angeles as they head out to set up shop. And they forced the fumble last time. Now 4 turnovers for this defense. They've been darn good.
It's become a feeding frenzy, hasn't it? I mean, almost like the sharks. They descend upon their prey. That's what they've done this entire game. 4 takeaways, they preach it, and today they're living it.
Well, when you have that many, you probably think, all right, well, we'll just get another one now, right?
That's how it works. Everyone feels like, if I didn't get one, I'm doing something wrong.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw on second down is Tannehill. Deep drop. Drops it off to Ajayi. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Here we go with Williams. It's a 4-yard pickup, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On 1st down, Tannehill. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. His tight end, Jordan Cameron, the intended target. Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline. It's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition that still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
Now it's Ajayi. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player. When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. They stop him after a gain of only 4, and that brings up 4th down. Back now in Los Angeles. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run the option left. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And they're not able to convert on 4th down. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
the fumble recovery. Goff. They'll roll him out right. Completes it right side to Britt. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's awfully tough on a defense when he's able to move outside the pocket and still keep his eyes downfield looking for open targets. You don't know whether to attack him or lay back and try
and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And Ndamukong Suh able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. Rolling to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Andre Branch. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
This is Ajayi. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll come out in the pistol. Tannehill on first down. It's caught. Stills right side. A gain of 6 there on first.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Here's Ajayi. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the second.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal. And quickly, they get to the line. On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. And caught by Cameron right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. They'll run it with Williams. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Likely the play of the game here. Trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. Now he's going the up. And a big loss here as he's taken down. They get him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. He's the huge loss on the play. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
And now they're in the hurry-up.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll try and chew some clock with Gurley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And in this situation with a lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4th.
Watch it now, Barney.
The Rams going for it on 4th. Gone. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road? And everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and they add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. He was trying to get it into his tight end Cameron that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Now it's Tannehill. That's caught at the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run with a J. And he is going to lose yardage here. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their 1st. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. And Frank's kick is good. But there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker.
Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Deion Sims from a yard out. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the fourth.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and zero relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part one is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
He's going to let it fly. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target. Deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
He's back to throw. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Past the 20. Touchdown, LA. Todd Gurley, 85 yards. And the Rams have taken the lead here in the fourth. And how about that, giving us our fifth lead change of the game? It's been back and forth.
No doubt about it, and right now, they're ahead, but they can't relax at all because if we've had 5 lead changes, I'm kind of betting on a 6.
Yeah, we might see a 6. Goff looking to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know there's some time on the clock, but I still think you kick the extra point there and don't go for 2 and go for the win in that spot.
Yeah, time or no time, why not just take the 1 and even the score?
And then that way, no matter what, at least you know what you're dealing with now. It's a whole different strategy. You got to decide whether you're going to onside kick or just try and play defense and get the ball back.
And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Back to throw. And Cameron has it over the middle. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They'll look to throw. Drops it off to Ajayi. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll bring up a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands, That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Red zone opportunity. In motion left here, Landry. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They run with Ajayi. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow. So how many practices have we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there?
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? Tannehill looking to throw. And no, it's incomplete. So they can't convert for 2, but they still have the lead as we get toward the end of the 4th. So the inability there to get the 2-point conversion sort of leaves the door at least a little bit more ajar.
And puts the onus now on the kickoff team and the defense to make sure they don't give up a big play that puts them in position to lose.
Especially on this kickoff. Got to be careful. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes.
And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats inbounds.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the defense searches for 1 more stop here after the run on 2nd down.
Here we go now. Clean. Got you now, Barney. Barney. Turn up.
1 last throw here for Goff. Eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up.